Oh, we developed this poster to answer some of the common questions that we receive. We get a lot of phone calls from people who are wondering how best to preserve the records that they find in their possession. Typically, you can see the poster says family records, but this really applies to records in general that people might come in contact with, whether it's family records, photographs, land records, deeds, things of that nature. The state archivist David Carmichael came up with the concept of relating records to Aunt Edna. So this fictional character, Aunt Edna, is sort of this little bit cranky aunt that comes to visit the family, right? And you can see the first point there is that we want to provide the best room. Only the best room will do. And what we're talking about there is just like Aunt Edna, we wouldn't want to put records in an attic or a basement, and too often that seems to be the case. And the reason for that takes us to the next point, where we're talking about the temperature must be perfect. And maybe perfect's a little bit strong of a word, but what we're talking about is really having an environment that's suitable, again, to Aunt Edna. So if a person is comfortable, generally we're going to say that the records are going to be comfortable as well. And what we're talking about here is generally a temperature below 72 degrees, and we're looking at a relative humidity of about 35 to 45% ideally. The real thing that we're looking for here is to avoid fluctuations in temperature and humidity. Aunt Edna there, you can see she's sort of pulling off of the dust off of an end table there. So we're talking about protecting our records from dust as well as other environmental considerations. And what we're recommending here is that we store records in the appropriate containers. One of the things we want to consider as well, the next point, be sure to share. Okay, so we're talking about making reproductions or copies of these materials, whether it's photographs or the documents, and sharing them with family members.